Greetings one and all, William Theo here, homegrown and happy to bring you PTV News Now. And we kick off tonight's stories with POTUS Joe Biden paid homage to Filipino and Phil-American healthcare workers and or frontliners, professionals and community leaders on the auspicious occasion of Phil-American History Month. In a message dated yesterday, October 21st, Biden acknowledged and highlighted the proud history and heritage of the Filipino-American community in the United States. 15 years ago in 2009, the U.S. Congress officially recognized October as Filipino-American History Month, and several states in the Union have followed suit to pass resolutions declaring October as the observance of Phil-American History Month. Over 4 million Filipinos and Filipino-Americans are based in the United States as professionals in the field of healthcare, services, business, and the private sector. Never has mainstream media been under greater fire from partisan groups, especially from the far right, as the U.S. November elections draw near. As such, newsrooms are training their reporters and news teams on safety tips should they come under the threat of physical harm. Liam Scott and Christina Caicedo have this VOA feature story.
In an office building in Rosslyn, Virginia, these journalists are preparing to cover the U.S. election. But their training is not in swing states or polling. It is focused instead on keeping safe physically, digitally, and emotionally. The workshops are part of an initiative by the International Women's Media Foundation, or IWMF. Trainers say the idea is to be prepared. They teach journalists how to avoid being a target, how to read a crowd at a protest, and how to keep their digital profiles secure.
The IWMF started the New Safety Across America initiative because we had the experience of the last election, and we knew that the incidents would continue in this election and probably potentially be even more severe.
Hostility directed at reporters during the January 6th insurrection and a rise in assaults on media drove the IWMF to take its workshop on the road. It has reached 600 journalists in 11 states. The training is timely. The U.S. Press Freedom Tracker is seeing a rise in assaults, arrests, and attacks on media in 2024, says managing editor Kirsten McCudden.
We've seen a large number of journalists assaulted this year, 68, nearly 70 journalists assaulted.
Earlier this year, the Press Freedom Tracker reported that the number of journalists detained has doubled in comparison to last year. These incidents have occurred while reporters are covering the Israel-Hamas protests in the United States.
But what we know is a tense time in the U.S. across all the cities. And it really, it harkens back a little bit to 2020, where we saw an unprecedented amount of journalists assaulted, more than 640, nearly 150 journalists arrested that year.
Those events prompted a more proactive approach by newsrooms in the U.S., where the common thread was that reporters needed to be ready.
This training is a wonderful opportunity for us as journalists to learn some of those tools and some of those intangibles we may not know or may need refreshers on as it pertains to this upcoming election season or the season that we're in.
And it is not just coverage of elections and protests that poses danger. The IWMF has found risks to media can appear anywhere.
Every beat in America has become a polarizing beat and therefore has become a dangerous beat.
With hostility to media on the rise, safety training workshops are one way to help keep journalists safe. With Liam Scott, Christina Caicedo Smith, VOA News.
At this moment, let's turn to my colleague in PTV Baguio City Studios for what's hot and happening in the Cordilleras. Audrey?
Naimbag Arabi, Pilipinas. Narestarte may bilbilang ang notorious sa dadaulot ni New People's Army ije Santa Rita, Bacara, Ilocos Norte. Itinaypatungpal nga intelligence-driven operation ti 5th Infantry Star Troopers Division kan PNP kontra kadagiti communist terrorist groups iti Northern Luzon, nakamag ni Simon Fiariao na Ogsan Sr. wenno mabigbig kas Filo kan Kawayat. Ninaugsan kat high-ranking leader kat spokesperson ti Communist Party of the Philippines iti Ilocos-Cordillera Region. Nadanday ito'y tinagduduma oposisyon iti CPP kas iti Executive Committee member, dadaulo ti Regional Propaganda kan Sigud Sekretarya ti Kilusang Larangang Guerrilla Marco iti sidong ti Ilocos-Cordillera Regional Committee. Sumangsango da ito iti nagduduma akaso kas iti murder, kan attempted murder ana ipila iti Regional Trial Courts sa Ifugao-can Mountain Province. Iti sabali pa'y adamag agsagsagana ti Benguet Electric Cooperative iti isasangbay ti Bagyo a Christine. Naka-red alert status ita ti Beneco gapu iti sumangbay a bagyo. Sigun iti opisina nakasagana dagiti linemen ken dagiti nagduduma a kagawaan da ngagresponde iti agbalin nga epekto ti Bagyo a Christine. Naka-standby ti 20 alugan ken 5 heavy maintenance ti opisina. Inyunay-unay ti Beneco ang manamnama ang makapasar iti power interruption no bilang ta nakaro ti epekto ti Bagyo ti rehiyon. Naipanamnama ti panagbantay da tapno dagos ang maisubli ti supply ti kuryente iti anyaman ang mapasaran a power interruptions.
Papaalala lang po natin na meron din protocol din na pina-follow natin. Siyempre pag yung mga pangmalawakan ng mga damages, uunahin po ng ating mga linemen na iayos yung ating mga primary lines o kumbaga yung ating backbone lines. And then saka po isusunod yung mga laterals.
Dagiti damdamag manito diti PTV Cordillera, siya ni Audrey Villena na Impag-Arabi.
Many thanks, Audrey, and that's all for tonight. Join us anew here tomorrow for a twin bill of breaking stories in the afternoon and nighttime, and always stay connected by keeping it right here for news you can count on. I am William Theo, and thank you for watching PTV News Now.